welcome to Your Questions Answered on the WhatCulture Wrestling Podcast, brand new YouTube channel. I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture, joined by Michael Havlet and Michael Sidgwick. We are the Dadley Boyz of WhatCulture, here to answer your burning wrestling questions, and it's live! And by the way, if you want to ask us questions, the only way... Cheers, everyone. The only way that you can get your questions in the chat that we will answer for the next hour or so is by subscribing to the channel, so make sure you do that. But yes, this is a new beginning for us, and we've got lots of stuff to announce, including, I should start out by probably saying, the official launch date of this channel, the time from which we will be doing daily video podcasts.
Oh my God.
Put it in your diary, Tuesday, October 10th. We will be doing a live Raw review on the channel, and from then on, it's going to be daily video podcasts. Monday's going to be live Q&As. We're going to have the Raw review on a Tuesday, the NXT review on a Wednesday, the Dynamite review on a Thursday, and Wrestle Culture on a Friday. And next week, next Tuesday, that's October 3rd, a week before we go properly full live on the channel, we'll be doing a Wrestle Dream review. So if you're wondering where that's going to be on Monday, that's what's going to happen. We're going to review it on this channel on Tuesday. But thanks to everyone in the chat. Thank you to everyone, by the way, in the chat saying, I'm watching this at work. I hope I don't get into trouble.
That's great.
But let's dive into as many questions as we possibly can in this hour. I want to start with the first question that came in from Gogetron, who says, Sidge, what's the origin of your hatred for literary flourishes / tropes? I largely get it, but we'll pop for 4+ alliterations.
It's kind of an in-joke. A certain individual... I don't know. I think maybe it's a bit of self-loathing is involved in this. Like, I'll go back and read some of my earlier efforts and just think, what a complete twat you are. Like, who are you trying to impress? And I just think that if you reach your mid-30s, you should go the Hemingway route. That's pretentious enough in itself. Like, come on, you can say words in a row, and the first letter of those words begins with the same letter. Just fuck off.
It's very Vince, isn't it? Vince absolutely loves his alliteration.
Yeah, a deep-rooted hatred of Vince McMahon basically dictates every area of my life.
So when you read that, do you like have a reaction? Do you like check your watch or how does that work?
Yeah, check my watch.
Say this thing, mate, yeah.
The soundboard.
It's here.
It's even earlier than I thought.
Shout out to Wayne Van Harsfeld. I'm going to go with that one. Hey guys, big fan. Is Booker T right about Dolph Ziggler? Has he just been on autopilot? And will a run with AEW bring back the best bout machine of 2012? I feel like with Freezer...
11 years ago.
I feel like with Freezer, this wasn't his final form. I'm intrigued to see if Ziggler goes to AEW.
The thing about an autopilot is it's still got to fly the plane, hasn't it? Like, Dolph Ziggler had to perform to a certain level to do whatever job was required of him. He's long past being pushed, being a world champion, being even thought of as a possible contender. But he did do a lot of stuff. WWE just requires you to do stuff. Dolph Ziggler's deal blows my mind. Like, 19 years he was in the system altogether. That's like double, treble Hulk Hogan's original run, 4 or 5 times out of The Rock and Steve Austin. And that's not a dig at Dolph Ziggler. That's just, he became this reflection of what WWE became. It's the content factory, and you need people for the churn. Like, I think Booker T's kind of a knob for saying that about Dolph Ziggler, because there was plenty of years where Booker T was on autopilot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and he knew like that he could get by with that, and he was getting older, and he didn't want to take as many bumps. His entire TNA run was autopilot. Some of his WWE stuff when he didn't like his creative, just the same. Like,
I disagree with that somewhat. He did do live commentary as he beat the crap out of someone in TNA.
Yeah, all right, that was good.
Yeah.
That was the main event Maffey. He was carried by Kevin Nash.
Yes.
But like, it was, I think like WWE kind of rewards a lot of people that can go on autopilot, and it's a hard job to be on autopilot in as well, falling on your back every night. I'm not the biggest Dolph Ziggler fan, but I don't resent him for being able to make amazing money doing what he did all those years.
Terry Funk said, don't get too good at doing jobs, and not to reduce Dolph Ziggler, but he was the most spectacular at getting his ass kicked, and I think that normalized him. I'm not particularly interested. I can't like say I'm frothing with anticipation at the idea of Ziggler in AEW. If you got a run, I think he'd probably do quite well, but like, there's so many young talents. That's the thing, like Dolph Ziggler doesn't feel young, because he doesn't look like an old wrestler used to look, but he's not young. Give someone else a shot, IMO.
I've always felt about this, like we talked about age versus TV age. Hulk Hogan going to WCW felt like a million years old as red and yellow Hulk Hogan, and then was zero as the NWO Hollywood Hogan. Dolph Ziggler might put that one to the test, you know, because Nick Nemeth is going to be 0 days old if he ever debuts in AEW, but how tired will that character already feel? Am I in favour of the Nemeth tag team? I don't know. Like Dolph Ziggler teaming with his shoot brother, that's something that he's never been able to do before, so that might be interesting, but
no.
There's a lot of brother in. There's a lot of brother in both literal and otherwise in AEW's tag division as it is.
Yeah,
I don't need much more of it.
Is there a brother tag team that are maybe struggling, maybe only appearing on Rampage, basically, that might think they could...
Well, it's taken on Rampage, so I don't have to watch it. Any more questions?
Gonna make it to the middle of my profession.
Marcel Laviolette says...
Legend.
Says, morning, guys. 2 jokes, 2 questions for you. Is Masage break out his Dusty impression and use that a bit more on the video podcasts?
My Dusty impression?
You got a Dusty?
I don't know, baby.
I'm done that still, baby.
I don't know if I've been there before.
Tough one, this. Whose dance is better, Prince Nana or Daniel Garcia? Let's be honest, we're doing both at the work Christmas party, aren't we?
Yes, as soon as I hit a strike at bowling. Look, you can like the FTR and the Young Bucks at the same time, and you can like Prince Nana's dance and Daniel Garcia's dance at the same time. IMO. Nana's fresher, hipper.
You get Swerve's music as a soundtrack for it. That's what I like about that.
Yeah,
goes well with the music itself. That theme's a banger.
Yeah.
How great was that at Wembley, by the way?
I'll take them both because I'm hardcore.
Has Prince Nana's been done as a touchdown celebration like Daniel Garcia's was, though?
No, nor has yet. And please, dear God, let this happen tonight after the taping. Has Tony Khan done it? Like he did after Grand Slam when he did Daniel Garcia.
Yes.
And he kind of like marched forward with it.
Put up his dukes.
Put up his dukes. Like I want to see him doing Nana's dance. That
Yes.
can be the next thing. Like that time he leant back on the ropes to open them and just kept falling.
Yeah.
Sticking with more AEW questions, actually. One from Golden RK9 says, where do you see Edge's place in AEW? A Sting role where he wrestles very sporadically, like Christian, where he's on weekly but doesn't wrestle full-time? Or will he be full-time like when the Punker came in?
I think Hamlet's got the best answer for this. He's fantasy booked it, bless his heart.
I love wrestling, me, you know. Our day at work. Yeah, Sting and Lex Luger had this really wonderful, believable relationship in 1996 based on the fact they'd been real-life friends forever. They'd been on-screen allies in Luger's last WCW run. And in early 1996, Luger had turned heel on Hulk Hogan and lots of other heels in WCW. But Sting saw the good in him because he was Sting, and that's what a good babyface does. So they won the tag belts together, and you would get these incredible entrances and little skits.
Luger was so funny, man.
Well, Luger's got his belt, and Sting's like slapping fives and all that. He's in front of Luger, and he's like, get off me, don't touch me. And then like Sting would turn around, and Luger would suddenly dive into the crowd. Yeah, I love the little Sting as me. And then he'd turn around and get the fuck off
If
like
you've
that.
not seen it, the Cody MJF stuff,
Yeah.
it was a blueprint for that stuff on BTE,
My
which was so funny as well.
All-time favourite bit between the two of them. Luger and Sting are supposed to be working. I think it was against a Public Enemy, but another it might have been Road Warriors, can't remember. Uncensored 96, and it's like a street fight type thing. So like Luger's needed, and he's injured or missing beforehand, and Sting relies on Booker T. And the two of them have this tag team match, and because it's like no holds barred, they brawl to the back, and I think it must be Booker T rather than Sting, but Booker T's section of the brawl, while Sting's somewhere else in the building, brawls through the backstage area, and Luger's there just posing in the mirror, giving it the double bicep.
It's awesome.
Like, such a great moment. The commentators are like, that prick, like somebody needs to tell Sting. And then the NWO came in, and they just had to drop it because WCW needed baby faces. You've got an opportunity to do all the fun stuff and then pay it off. Like
AEW is a promotion that they actually watch the telly, though, and they make sure to tell you that they watch the TV. So I don't know.
Again, though, it's Edge.
Maybe you need to turn the WWF part of your brain off.
I'll never, ever do it. I'll never, ever do it.
Never.
Because at least the Fed will always be there forever. I can trust it. The Edge defending Christian thing, I feel like is believable because like he's the one guy that like Christian has turned heel on him in the past, and yet they got through that together. They've ridden up and down the road with you. Like he's the one guy that can keep trying to justify all these bad things Christian does. So that I think that works around the on-camera element of it. Like, so yeah, I know he said that about your dad, Nick. I'm really sorry, but like he loves being champion. Like I know he's got that competitive fight. He'll find stupider and stupider excuses. And Edge was raised by a single mother. So Christian's good to go. Oh, I'm excited for the Edge, in AEW. I think this is going to work.
As long as he gets Patter back.
I think he will. I think he will.
Needs his Patter back. Jesus Christ.
Remember, the podcast and the network show? They
no,
were so affable, weren't they?
WWE TV has a way of doing this to people.
Do you think he had banter in the past?
He did. I saw it. I saw it.
Fucking nice.
Shout out to Jose Palomares in the chat at the Ho11, of course,
Jose.
on Twitter. He often helps with the
data.
Thank you for the ladies' night on the Dynamite previews and reviews. He asks, "Is it door or is the answer no door?" Not yet. Not yet. For now.
When I'm cleaning windows.
Is that going to get us taken down, Nicholas?
Pending.
Okay. Well,
Your state of George Formby.
It's Nathan Fraser's entrance music, isn't it?
Jeff Oliver says, "Hey, Dadley, I asked this question on the live stream you did in Vegas, but the audio cut out your answer, so I'll ask it again. What happens first, Evolution 2 in Saudi Arabia or 2 women's matches on Dynamite?"
Look, yeah, it's a joke of a question, a funny one at that. But it's, it's
not great.
It's funny because it's true. They're not going to put 2 women's matches on Dynamite. They might have done
Wait,
it.
then let's just check tonight's schedule. Just the one, yeah.
Just the one. I don't know if it's a Suits. I don't know if it's
Standards and practices.
I don't know if it's Tony Khan. I don't know if that's just an institutional apathy. I don't know what the hell's going on. All I know is that it's been 4 years and it's become one of those things. Like, remember when if you wanted major arena, big time pro wrestling, and it's got its own appeal, irrespective of the quality. But when you were like in 2015 going, do you think Vince is going to push this latest indie guy? And you thought, no, dickhead, where have you been for the past 5 years? He's going to push them off the stage when they're in a wheelchair, in a bump that looks brutal on their coccyx. Like, give up. Ain't going to happen. That's what we're getting at now with the Change the World promotion. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Like, they're behind.
Didn't like it then.
They're behind on this.
Do you remember the Britt Baker, Saraya, Jericho, Adam Cole tag match? And there was like a bunch of people. See, it counts. No, it doesn't. Yeah, like the ladies' night thing, to go back to Jose Palomares last bit.
The 11 on Twitter.
What does the theme for ladies' night sound?
Oh, this is the cameras, man. I knew this was going to be a problem at some point. This is a bridge to cross. Oh, fuck. Well, this is ladies' night, and I'm thinking, oh, what a night. Brilliant. What if someone from school just sees it? Yeah.
Kids are going to watch this. We'll put this on the big telly.
No, they're fucking not.
Are you making Eric sit through a repeat of this tonight?
He's watching right now. Hi, Eric.
That's what he's getting his night feed to tonight and every night. What were the questions again? So it's either Evolution 2
in Saudi Arabia.
That stands more chance because they've got...
Actually, hang on. What was the last one they did? Was it Super Showdown this year?
Yeah, we covered it with Thunder Rosa of AEW. This question was probably really awkward when she was there for it.
How many women's matches were on that show?
2.
Well, we've already beat Dynamite in Saudi Arabia.
It was a punchline. It was a punchline then. That, like, they're getting more women's matches in Saudi. What I hate about that is that WWE kind of dared to say, you know what Saudi Arabia needs to fix all of its like societal ills? Us. And they've come in and they've sort of worked towards it, and it's gross and it's disgusting. But Evolution 2 does feel closer. Like, that's what we've got so far as evidence is that, and that's preposterous.
So what you need to support women's wrestling and Dynamite in the US is the KSA. Great.
Oh my God.
Speaking of things that probably won't happen, Joe Southern says, with yet more releases happening last week, is it likely that there is ever going to be a wrestling union, or has that ship sailed?
It's never going to happen. And a couple of years ago, or a bit longer now, because it was like after AEW formed, and there was obviously the EVPs and a select. Like, I think Punk got a good sweetheart deal, didn't he? And there's various other wrestlers that have had it, Jericho as well. I think it was Cody that came out himself and said, you'd be surprised how few wrestlers actually want it. And, I'm not a wrestler, so I don't know, and I don't know what gets discussed in locker rooms. But it does feel like one of them things that's been quite deeply embedded within us, that it's a Shark Tank, and the whole point is that you're supposed to trample on your colleagues' heads to get to the top, and that's what motivates you to be great. And Steve Austin's dumbass old point about, you're not in it to win this belt, you shouldn't be in it at all. Like, well, how does that explain 95% of the people that have ever wrestled Steve? I just think that there's a lot of that inbuilt idea that unions are bad. Like unions, as we've seen with SAG-AFTRA and everything else, they're quite strong in America if they want to be. And I think promoters would resent that and just immediately try and sideline him and say, is there any chance, like imagine Tony Khan's Rolodex after all the people that have been on Dynamite, how many wrestlers would be like, I'll come and work. Like, it's not a scab thing, is it? It's just like there'd be no picket line across. They'd race to that Dynamite. I wish it wasn't, but it's a pipe dream.
It's a pipe dream. There's one feasible way it could have happened in my lifetime post Jesse Ventura when it didn't happen then. Mm-hmm. That CM Punk, who's, lobbied for it in the past, signed that AEW deal. Either the first dance, right, let's go, Union.
Yep.
The only time it could have ever happened. They might not want it. And there's so many people in wrestling who would just be a scab. Much like John Cena and The Rock.
That's it, yeah. We're talking like it was Hulk Hogan that trampled on it the last time when Jesse Ventura gave it.
Normally such a good guy as well.
Like the guy that was making the most money. And back then, if a wrestler was working on a Hogan show, they were buzzing because they were going to get paid more money. So he had all this kind of power in terms of like locker room conversations. He was the guy that said, no, you don't want this. And going around saying to people, you absolutely don't want this. Let's stop Jesse Ventura in his tracks. So I can't see how that's any different all these years later.
I'll get used to Ladies' Night, by the way. Subscribe for Ladies' Night.
You nailed it first time out.
Thank you.
Let's talk about something you don't like. Adam Hamilton says, fantastic stuff, guys. Really looking forward to this YouTube channel kicking off. Yes, of course. It officially launches, by the way, if you missed that, October 10th with a Raw review on the channel. And then next week, October 3rd, we'll be doing a live AEW Wrestle Dream review with some questions and answering as well. But yeah, Adam Hamilton says, Hamflet, I'm watching Raw in 1996, just started June. Why don't you like the Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12?
It's fucking shit. Like
it is.
It's so like this is Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, right? The entire industry was in the toilet in the mid-90s, but at least WWE had like maybe two of the best North American wrestlers ever, and certainly the two best at that moment. And it was the wrong
Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson
in 1996, dickhead. Like, for all I know, Omega was probably great then as well. He was. I'm just thinking about it.
Don Callis thought he was great when he was 10 years old. Yeah.
It was the wrong stipulation because. Yes, you want to see this like feat of endurance and like all these different tests.
Do you? About 200,000 people bought it on pay-per-view.
That they've got to, theoretically, you've got to see them go through. And yet, two wrestlers that were already like a bit edgy with each other. It wasn't as bad as it would get in 1997, but weren't exactly keen on giving much away in the match, let alone pinfalls. They've told you for the first time ever that you're probably going to get like 5 or 6 pins.
Yeah.
That's what I remember feeling like that when you can get pinned as much as you want in an hour. I'm thinking this is going to go like 6-5 and there's going to be a late winner. And there was a late winner without the 6-5 before, like the 5-5 before it. They got so much wrong. They don't do a lot. If you watch it, and I think that's the problem, I think a lot of people don't watch it, watch a few highlights or get told by enough.
Or watch the last 10 minutes or
something.
They get conditioned.
Yeah, it's Bret and Shawn, so that's got this like, and I'm a believer that Bret and Shawn never had the great Bret and Shawn match. It got close at Montreal, but then everything else happened. So their chemistry was never that fantastic for how good it should have been. But so little happens for the first 20, 30 minutes that they lose the crowd. So you see people leaving.
The red seats, I always remember what colour the seats are.
It's a dead atmosphere.
Anaheim Pond?
Yeah, like dead atmosphere in the building. And then Bret Hart, who, I love and is always right, was wrong once, and it was in this take where he said he sat on the turnbuckle, and you can see the spot in the match, and he expected to see 10 minutes remaining, 50 on the clock. I think it was 50 and 10. And he sat on the turnbuckle, and he was like, and there it was. It was to the second exactly where I thought it would be. I'm thinking, that's the problem with this. You are two of the greatest of all time, and you've lost the crowd.
Yeah, well done. You've followed an instruction manual.
Yeah. Like, you have shown better instincts with substantially worse workers. How has that not happened here? And it's probably because there wasn't enough trust that they couldn't compromise any of that. It was like, right, are you following it? Yeah, I'm following it. There's a few, like, stiff shots thrown, and there was a few receipts given, but other than that, they were obviously, all right, I'm going to do this bit, you're going to do this bit, and nobody's going to veer, The angle's great. The overtime's brilliant. Bret sort of very subtly turns heel. Like WrestleMania 13 wasn't a one-night double turn. It was done over a series of small moments in Bret's career, and this was that. He's raging about the overtime because it's an injustice to draw. Like, tough shit, Shawn. Go home. But he has to work the extra minute. That's hugely dramatic. Vince McMahon, one of his best ever calls, I think. Like Shawn screaming in the sharpshooter, we're down to a minute and change. He gets the drama just right. 59 and a half, boring minutes.
The first 35 minutes, 40 maybe, It's like a Raw match during the commercials.
Yeah.
It just is.
Wow.
Like the hold's better, the submission work is better, but that audience doesn't care about that, and they've been conditioned not to care about that.
It's crisp execution, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's that cool spot where the timekeeper gets super kicked.
That's when it's like, oh, God.
Oh, there's something.
There's
Anyway,
something.
back to the headlock.
Back to the nothing. Back to the nothing.
Thanks for all the love in the comments section.
love.
Hugo, number one Stanford. I just want to share my immense love for you all. I don't know how my life would be without you. No question worthy of your time, but all my love. And the brilliant Mark Lee Willis has sent us a question. Thank you, Mark. With WWE doing the whole Jey Uso redemption forgiveness thing, is this an example of moral storytelling, such as movies often do? Or is this giving them too much credit? I'd say it's pretty close to... I don't think it's going to get us taken off YouTube yet, or what? But I think it's pretty bloody close. 1 second. Give me a
dead air, mate, if we don't find the button.
find the button in a second. It's going to be here somewhere. It's
Is it?
pretty close to...
Yeah, this will talk over it, is it?
Not like an 8 seconds rule.
Oh, no, fair use.
Fair usage. Fuck that. This has gone on longer than my whole life. What's the question again?
It's the Bloodline Saga Cinema.
Should you answer that, Will Botton?
I think it is. I love it.
It's, it was... If it's cinema, we're into like the 8th or 9th sequel, where the franchise has gone to shit. Like, I love the Jey Uso stuff, and to the bigger part of the question, we are definitely in an era where
It's soap opera.
like this is drawing crowds, ratings. Like the hottest angle in AEW isn't just about that, but like Adam Cole and MJF's like the love in their life rather than the hate is what gave you that incredible moment at the end of All In. The Bloodline was phenomenally successful before it massively went off the rails at SummerSlam, but like as a like ratings driver in 2022,
It's a joke question.
it is what people want to watch, though, isn't it?
Not me.
Like this podcast.
Not me.
Unfortunately, I don't think I can watch it right now. Oh, we're back. There we go. Apologies, we lost. People thought we just did a lights off, lights on gimmick there.
Oh, right, sorry. Don't go.
But we're back. We're still here. I think they can still hear us. Let's move on to the next question. Cillein. Killian Farrell. Hello to the Dadleys. Which of the
Killian Dane.
4 AEW pay-per-views, Revolution, Double or Nothing, All Out and Full Gear, do you think has been the most consistent and best overall?
Say that again.
Which of the big 4 have been the most consistent over the years?
Oh.
And I had a bonus question to this, Sidge, for you.
Yeah.
You obviously went to Double or Nothing. If you could go to any of the other 3, which one would you like to go to?
I've always wanted to go to Chicago, so All Out on that basis. If you go through the history, it's probably Full Gear, you know? Probably Full Gear. Full Gear 2019 was an absolutely incredible top-to-bottom show. Full Gear 2020 was the best show of the pandemic to such an extent that at times it really didn't feel like you were still deeply in the guts of one. Full Gear 2021, oh my God. Kingston Punk, the Hangman Page title switch. 2022 wasn't quite as good. But I think every other show has had a total clanger. Like Revolution 2021, clanger. All Out 2020, clanger. Double or Nothing, we went. 2023 wasn't a clanger because the last hour was incredible, but it certainly was in the bottom percentile of their pay-per-views. So I think consistently Full Gear. I would go to All Out just because I've never been to Chicago and I would like to go.
I've been to Chicago, so I'd want to go to Revolution. Revs is where the big stuff has gone down. Revolution 2020 for the tag.
2021 was so disastrous, though.
The main event, like, you loved I didn't like the match, but you liked the match before the botch.
Yeah, you know what else happened, though?
Go on, hit
The
me.
biggest disaster in AEW history. Matt Hardy had a singles match with Hangman Page.
Yeah, but he did lose.
And then
it.
the explosion happened.
Oh! To be fair, Matt Hardy lost his earnings for that quarter,
Yeah,
so
true.
take that, Matt. 2022 Revolution, Jesus Christ almighty. Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho and CM Punk and MJF in a dog collar match on the same card. Oh my God. And then this year, Page and Moxley in the...
MJF Bryan.
And MJF Bryan. It's Revs, I think. That's where like some
It's
of
Revs
the
a Full Gear.
big stuff happens. So that's all 3 then, because you want to go to Chicago for All Out. It's a lot. And to be honest, had we not gone to Vegas, I would be picking Double or Nothing. Like, I love the aesthetic. If you look at like the most, like, I know 2019 is like steeped in history, but like I personally think 2020's Double or Nothing was the pandemic GOAT pay-per-view.
He's got something to say.
Sorry, yeah, I was reading the comments.
He just doesn't listen. This is what you're going to get used to. This we're going to make loads of salient points. Not just that. That's bad now. Salient points, and it's the absolute lack of manners because he just stops listening because he's got a bit prepared in his head.
I was just checking the chat, and thanks to everyone who mentioned the fact that we lost the video feed.
Is it back?
Yeah. I found out the reason for it as well.
Have you fucked it?
You won't believe it, by the way. So, thank you to everyone in the comments who flooded it with "This stream has become correct" and "the House of Black." But Nicholas, is this true? This is absolutely 100% true. He writes in the chat, "The boys making me laugh so hard made me put my head down and the peak of my cap hit a button it wasn't meant to."
That's what you get if you subscribe, baby. That's a
I've lost who actually asked this question, but I thought it was a great one. It just said Hamlet, crisps or cereal.
Oh, shit.
Milk-covered crisps.
Yeah.
Remember we found those chocolates that had crisps in them, the Reese's Pieces?
I'll tell you what I don't like, to put those two things together. I do not like crisps in a bowl, and I especially don't like mixed crisps. Fucks me off.
I'm with you on that one.
Cheese, onion, salt, and vinegar. What the hell are you playing at? Like, I want the flavour that I'm expecting.
Yeah,
I don't want
a
surprise with crisps. And I just think when they're put out at part, like, and this would never happen. Like, I go to a party, give me a packet, and I'll stand and eat crisps like a child on his dinner break. Like, don't like crisps in a bowl. Also, it's a bit like, I prefer this drink.
I prefer this drink as well. Mountain Dew passion fruit brunch.
Out of this can, rather than pouring it into a glass. I think it
Boy.
tastes.
You're wrong on both counts.
No, I think it tastes better out the can. Now, you would say that because you cook shit. I don't. I oven warm it and I pierce things and put them in microwaves. So I like the vessels with which food and drink arrive in.
You know, my daughter, I'm teaching her how to cook. She really likes it. She might be more advanced than you are.
There's no mic about it.
Crisp in a bowl, I like it because you can absolutely see how much is left as you go. I don't like being lied to. I think the packet's deceptive. What we as well do at home.
I think it's because you just want to feel fancy.
What we as well do at home is in the
bottom fancy day.
I got a bowl.
Bottom drawer of the freezer. That's where half eyeglasses go.
I thought you were going to say where you put your crisps. Come on, guys, we put our crisps in the freezer.
That's where the bodies are buried. No, I genuinely put glasses in the freezer, just an additional layer of chill.
But like the can taste is.
It's better than a plastic bottle. I'll give it that.
And glass bottle Coke, we all agree, is the best.
Yes.
Coke, yeah.
Does anyone know the science behind that? Sound off in the end. Comments below. I'm a YouTuber now. Apparently, I've been reliably informed.
Comment sections in the past.
Devon Dowling, I thought we could do this as a Dadley Boyz thing, so people tonight, if they're peckish, could do this. Right, if you were buying a pizza that needed to have 4 toppings, what would they be? I thought we could top that pizza together.
It's too many, though, straight
away. Oh, yeah, too many. I like a more understated pizza, personally.
Same.
I think there's such joy in the cheese and tomato and the basil leaf, personally, on a Neapolitan pizza.
Fucking stuffed crust.
The basil leaf is great. Let's do it, though, for the sake of the question.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and then a collective. Oh, you pick one, I'll pick one. And then 3, 2, 1, the last topping together, and see if we are shagging.
So what you're saying is, if we're going to do this together,
it's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
That's literally what we do every single time.
Yeah, for years.
Right, you go first topping.
Route 1, lads, pepperoni.
Oh. I was going to say pepperoni.
Stop Josh. Double pepperoni.
Oh, Jesus.
We're like one of those dickhead lads podcasts. But that the world does not need it at all. Pepperoni to pepperoni, I think. So pepperoni for you.
I like a bit of if I have a pepperoni, a bit of sweet corn on there. So I'm a bit sweet.
I'm not eating that then, am I?
Why?
Because it's not nice.
What, sweet corn brackets general or on a pizza?
On a pizza, usually. Do you?
Sorry?
The one that I don't know how to say it, obviously. I was trying to style it off. N-D-U-J-A. Nuja.
What's this? I don't know what this is.
You're joking.
That sounds like you're on one of the bandits in the arcade. I've got a Nuja.
N-D-U-J-A.
I've seen that written down. Yeah.
It's a spicy spreadable pork sausage.
I didn't know it was a food. I'd seen it, though.
It's delicious.
No ja.
Right, Jesus Christ, where are we going to go here? Right, okay. Right.
So we've got sweet corn, pepperoni, and...
Yeah, disgusting pizza straight away.
So what is it? Spreadable
No ja.
sausage?
Spreadable sausage.
He's probably thinking of, like, you know, the clown face ham, just like on the back of a knife pressed down into some cheese. And he'll probably eat it as well.
I was imagining if it was like, if you could get like a Cumberland sausage, but within like a dairy leaf type setup. It's like the flavour, but you could spread it and it was like perfect sausage flavour.
3, 2, 1,
Beef.
chicken.
Mountain Dew.
Right, okay. I like, you know what, go with? A custom from Domino's. Yes, I like it.
No, I shouldn't apologise.
Kiev pizza, where you have chicken breast strips. No, you like a little bit of breast bone, is that correct?
I'm a big breast man.
Chicken breast, ham,
We're on the internet now.
Domino's. Chicken breast strips, ham, Domino's herbs, and the garlic spread. And it's like a chicken Kiev on a pizza. It's genuinely really nice.
I think we've discussed this before. Like, you consider slumming it pizza-wise with Domino's, don't you? Pizza Hut's my go-to.
Yeah,
I prefer pizza.
I prefer Neapolitan. But,
I prefer flan.
but I like Domino's on its own terms.
I don't like that app where they're like, it's wacky. Like, ooh, I'm John.
Oh, yeah,
I'm John the
little
pizza face.
stupid-
I'm making you pizza. No, you're not.
Creating stupid characters.
It's a little like sort of. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm nearly ready. Just
I mean-
one slice left in my face.
There's elements of it I can appreciate. But I just think
Mainly
you're trying too hard. He makes these like crap jokes, and I'm like, come on.
What's the next question?
Tyler Hatfield, I thought you could answer this, even though it's directed at me. Wilborn, what is the stupidest thing you've gotten over in the office with the boys?
Oh God!
I'm thinking of one thing that we do on every single day, Sige. before
Right.
we come
Okay.
on.
Well, that's I think it could be 10 different things every day. When it's unseasonably cold. Say it's June and you're thinking, oh, it could be a nice little 19, 20 degrees. This could be like a t-shirt only day and you're not like, it's not stultifying heat. Happens to be, we're in England, it's pissing down with rain. Wilborn, without fail, comes in and goes, oh, so much for the summer, eh? And just looks at us and I just melt.
That would have been mine too, because it's preposterous, isn't it? Like, there's no one specific example, but I like it on the rare occasions when Wilborn says a thing that doesn't pop the office, and it is rare. Like, generally when you pipe up, the office laughs. But then he's like, oh, I didn't get a laugh. I'll say the exact same thing in a silly voice. And then he gets you. We called it Force of Wilborn.
Yeah.
For a reason, because you will extract.
You will
that
get
pop
what you want.
surgically if you need to. Door or no door, like, broke. It's on camera. It broke me. But like, I was thinking about that on my commute for days, and it would just like, it would start playing a little bit like, you know, you've got like that internal soundtrack that you walk around with. It might be a song that you've heard on the radio, or whatever. And then all of a sudden, it would be that bit specifically on a loop, and I'd just laugh as I was across the road. You're a dick, mate.
Yeah, yes.
Also, trying to make sure I get at least one of my 5 a day and throw it in the bin from my seat in the office, which is too far away from the bin.
Yeah, there's a banana and it's going way downtown. That's not how you say it.
Yeah. And it's all smeared all over the wall now.
Yeah, we were working a shithole. And it's his fault. Next question.
Corrupted was very good as well. I think when that one arrived.
Yes. Thank you to WhatCulture Wrestling Podcast in the chat, who's just written, Adam Wilborn, what's the weekly schedule for anyone who might have missed it? And the launch date, asking for a friend. Well, next week, Tuesday, October 3rd, we're going to be doing a live AEW Wrestle Dream review and Q&A. So do join us for that one. Then a week later, Tuesday, October 10th, is when we officially launch the channel and we do a live Raw review on the channel. And then following that, our weekly schedule will basically look like this. On Monday, it's going to be a live Q&A similar to this one. Tuesday, the Raw review. Wednesday, the NXT review. Thursday, the Dynamite review. And Friday, a live Wrestle Culture. And maybe got 25 minutes left. Stick around till the end because there might be something extra special that we are going to be asking in due course. Michael Everett says, quality YouTube work, boys. How long will Roman be gone once he hopefully finally drops the title to hopefully Cody at WrestleMania? A good 6 months or so?
Yeah. He he's kind of already in that period where you can tell he's doing the shows he fancies doing, or the big payday ones, like there's contractual obligations and the like. He's done it. He's somehow moved into the John Cena part-timer run, whatever it is, while still holding the belt. This is unprecedented.
Brock Lesnar did it.
Well, but I was looking at this recently for a list. I remember that era where people were like, Brock's taking the belt hostage. He worked like 15 times in a calendar year. Like, Roman's not posting a third of those numbers at this point. He's absolutely nailed it. I would expect Roman to go away for at least 6 months. SummerSlam is a stadium thing now. They've made the B shows big, but I don't think big enough for him. Just like big stadium events, it's where they'll use him. And I think he'll be a massive babyface, by the way. Like, I'm already quite excited for maybe like 3 to 5 years on from now, where he's kind of virtually disappeared, and then you get reactions like you do when Cena comes back, or something akin to what The Rock got the other week on SmackDown. I just think he's elevated himself to that level. It's going to be people throwing the ones in the air when they haven't had a chance to do it for like 2 or 3 years. It's going to be massive.
Acknowledge my tribal chief.
How excited are you, Sage, for that era?
I don't care. I want another question.
By the way, for
Good question. Oh, yeah, it's just Roman Reigns. I just don't care. I don't care.
For people in the chat, by the way.
He does, though, and that's the quality of the podcast.
Well, that's what we bring.
For people in the chat worrying about the previews, we'll still be doing them. They'll just be going out as podcasts.
Yeah.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
This button will still get pressed liberally.
Muscle memory, that. Shane Open says, loving it live, lads. I'll be a dad in 3 months. Congratulations, Shane. What is the one piece of advice you each could give?
Should have asked me that about 6 months ago. Look, my advice would be, since you've asked, people will tell you a million things and they will be really earnestly trying to help you. Listen to all of it, take none of it, because yours is going to be your own and absolutely nobody else's.
My advice would be that everyone says, you'd be doing shitty nappy, son. Great. Well,
especially if you live in the northeast.
Yeah, you'll be changing shitty nappies in no time, son. You'll be up to your elbows and shit. It's like, all right, great. Well, I look forward to that. Thanks. But that's, preferable to the screaming.
Thanks, Nan.
That'd be, she's
Bye, Nan.
She was dead. So it's not her. That's insensitive. The nappies are the least of your problems. You will get so practiced, so well rehearsed, you will just do it without thinking about it within days and days and days. The screaming never stops. The screaming is relentless. The lack of sleep.
Internally.
Yeah. You need to realize there are certain times when you feel guilty about not being able to soothe your baby. You will feel guilty about getting irritated about your baby. You will see a million things on Instagram and social media where you are meant to go, oh, isn't it stressful having a baby? But we'll still have a laugh. We can still do a TikTok. No, it gets really deeply frustrating in the small, bleak, intimate confines of your home. There are certain times when you cannot soothe your baby, when you are only going to get frustrated by your baby. You know what you should do? Put some headphones in and listen to some music that has absolutely no space between those notes.
You said that to me, I remember, yeah.
And just what you need to do is leave it writhing on the floor because you can't do anything when they're at their worst. And 99 times out of 100, they're at their absolute best.
There's podcast apps now that take out the silence automatically when you're listening. So just listen to our podcast and there'll be none of that space. But we get the listens at the same time. Yeah. And you can distract yourself with our bollocks. It's really,
or watch
really
it on
hard,
YouTube, which we're plugging.
It's really hard, but it's very gratifying.
I don't see what the issue is. It's easy being a dad.
Love this.
6 weeks in, Eric's a dream. He's
tick.
What's the problem?
He'll start screaming soon enough. Like.
Oh, he loves it. He loves a bit of it. Loves a bit. Hey! Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, Trevor.
Talking
cheers.
All our children.
Yeah, it's dead easy.
What was the name of the person that asked the question?
I think, was it Tyler? I've lost the question now. I've scrolled past
Control F?
Yeah, hang on. I'll look that up.
No, it's all right. I was just going to say, ahead of having one, if it goes really well, and then you can be arrogant about it, like this arsehole, don't be fooled into having two. It'll be different.
Two's great.
It's all great. That's
just bulk buy a load of stuff from Tommy Tippy is what I say. It's easy then. You just shove it in there.
Getting podcasts sponsored by them.
We're working on it, and hopefully other delicious. Podcast sponsors on the way.
Still don't do that on my face.
I might eat some jelly on a live stream soon. Oh, and for people wondering, by the way, the video podcast will also still be going out as audio podcast, so don't worry about that. But obviously,
Just watch them on YouTube, though. That's why we're launching the channel.
Do both, if anything, actually.
Devin says, I get married next Saturday. Congratulations, Devin.
Wrestling questions after this one?
What's some advice you
I'm not. It's just I don't want to reveal the intimate details of my personal life on a fucking podcast.
Welcome to the internet.
What's some advice you'd give for me?
About
Get married.
God, I don't know. Live with her first.
Oh, yeah.
No, just enjoy it. Weddings are absolutely fantastic.
Weddings are goated. You've done a lot of the hard work because you've already decided that you want to get married to each other. You probably already decided if you're going to kill each other or not before making this choice.
You can say whatever you want during your speech, and it's your day, and you're paying for people's food, so you're not going to get criticised. A best man speech, you are held to scrutiny for the things you say, for the details you reveal, but you can pretty much say anything when you're paying for it. So
I'd say just try not to stress about not getting around to see everyone and just enjoy the day because it goes so fast. Just try and have that little moment for the two of you as well during that day. It's awesome. Best luck for Direct Devin.
It's like a reversal. I was waiting for the bit. Nope. Where's the wordplay? Where's the pun? It's nice.
Wilborn loves love, guys.
There it is.
Daniel Rogers says, can you press the Seth Rollins button?
what he does.
I don't hum. It's never hum. You've never that before. Never hum. Never happened.
Video, we've got to go extra.
No, you don't. No, you don't. They can't even see. That's for us. It's not for them.
He's never hummed.
Take that little moment for yourself.
He's never hummed.
Under the desk.
He's done the crotch chop. He's never hummed.
Under the desk.
Sat at the top table. There's each other's parents.
You've never
What's
hummed.
going on? You can do anything under there.
Oh God, he's going to get worse. This is a premonition. It's going to get worse.
To the wedding day.
What's the best wrestling show of the week, says Thrax?
Dynamite.
NXT.
Well, no, come on. Let's not take the piss. Raw. But like we enjoy covering NXT. Dynamite last week was unreal, and it was this reminder, Grand Slam this was, and it was a reminder of how it used to feel every single week.
Yeah.
I think WWE's been better in 2023, earnestly. Sidgwick won't agree, ever. But like...
Dynamite at its worst is better than Raw at its best for reasons I've elaborated on many times. Just the energy, the format, the fact that it's real people operating this company.
NXT's the best. Every week it provides us with...
Teachable moment!
And we love previewing and reviewing it every
Yeah, we don't actually preview and review it, though.
Where it's the show previously known as NXT 2 Play. Do all of them. Pay-per-views, premium live events, all that sort of thing.
You can't level up on that on video.
And we'll never cover Level Up.
Yeah.
Bavia Gang says, what do you think will be the new match for MJF at Wrestle Dream?
Oh, well, we've discussed how with the brutal rule-proving exception that was Survivor Series 1999, that promoters historically, when they have to take away an attraction, they like to give you a bumper bonus size replacement. We just saw it recently with Bryan Danielson returning prematurely, possibly, from injury. So
At Wembley, apparently. I imagine that if he's fine for one Sunday in Chicago, couldn't it have been fine for one Sunday prior in London?
apparently.
Daniel.
I don't know. MJF versus Joe was A, so well received critically, and B, like, did such a monster of a number by AEW standards, particularly this year, that if I'm Tony Khan, I'm probably going, you know what, we could step it up as a rematch and maybe get a few extra buys. That's how much people were into that match. That's what I would do if I was DK.
I want this week on Dynamite, Adam Cole and Roddy Strong's beds to be next to each other, and Adam Cole be kind of mourning the fact that he's not going to be there for Max to defend the belt, and then Roddy Strong to sit up, bravely take the neck brace off and say, I'll do it, Adam, and you can see Cole's suspicious of this going very badly, but I think it's that, or you've just got to do MJF versus Dutch.
Brandon Harding says, should I make a What Culture Wrestling podcast sign for the Denver show tonight?
Please do.
100%. Every single... The first dance, like, I think, top 5 AEW moments ever? Maybe top 3, top 2? Like, you tune in to start a Rampage, and there's a Dadley Boyz sign, and I'm freaking out, man. Like, CM Punk's about to debut.
I love that image of... It's Danielson, isn't it? On the top
the
right.
best.
He's like that.
Yeah.
You see your face in the crowd.
Ridiculous.
It's that one's Happy Birthday Sidgwick. I was watching that live. Like that, the match hadn't even started, and I was lost my first bullet series. This is a fucking Sidgwick sign.
No, honestly, more signs. Honestly, we absolutely love that, and we should just say as well, we can only do this, building on the audio podcast because of all your help and support and praise and criticisms. We are eternally grateful for you all.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued to see what they do with MJF on tonight's show and then setting up for Wrestle Dream, because he's such a good guy, my best friend, and he has such good takes on everything. Like, for example, he was asked a question by one Michael Sidgwick from the WhatCulture Wrestling Podcast, and he responded to say that podcast was
one of the only professional wrestling podcasts that's actually worth it.
Who are we to doubt MJF?
Indeed.
Or El Dandy?
What is AEW's? What is AEW's new era going to be, says Ryan Connor.
Oh, right. This is a proper question. They've all been great. Many great questions. Many people are saying it. But because this one I don't know the answer to. It's weird. I feel like this is going to be some kind of bad news, good news, guys. In that they're going to dress something up as great news when there might be a little bit of a hard-hitting home truth buried underneath. Great news, guys. You like AEW? Do you want more of AEW? Well, actually, Tony, I think maybe with the debut of Collision, there's too much. You like it, do you? Well, there's going to be 12 pay-per-views a year, and they're going to be even cheaper. Basically, I think they're maybe going to say Content Farm era, but sell it as something different.
Is it HBO Max they're talking about going on there?
Yeah.
It's one of them things, isn't it, where I'd like to think, because Tony Khan has done things in 2s and 3s before, because he knows that there's all this speculation about a TV deal, maybe there's just something fun as well, and it's a two-for, I don't know who there is to sign, particularly at the moment.
Get rid of Rampage.
Yeah, good news. More pay-per-views, less Rampage. Score draw. Thanks, Tony. Yeah, but I don't know if there is a wrestler out there at the moment who would generate the kind of buzz that we once had with all the other signings.
What about Mercedes?
Money.
I don't know if I can play the full version, or New Japan's going to take us down. So.
All right, yeah, they'll come after our asses.
That would be
that Edger.
That Edger and Mercedes Mane would be examples of the signings. See, although they're going to be on, they probably have to debut in front of the crowds. The new era element of it, if it wasn't just TV with Mercedes Mane, would be a
good women's division.
Increased focus on the women's division. Increased focus on the women's division,
The thing is, they can't surely say, it's a bold new era, the old era is ending. That's pretty loaded language. So for that to be true, you have to say, the old era where I didn't give a fuck about women's wrestling, well, that shit's done with now. I'm going to have to care because I've just signed someone really expensive.
They did it with the Divas, do you remember?
But you don't want to follow them.
No.
Not being funny, Vince Russo had a more progressive attitude towards women's wrestling in booking or allowing on television the Gail Kim versus Awesome Kong series. Vince Russo had a better attitude towards women, and think of some of the rancid stuff he's done.
On the new era, this could be a red flag to some people, but we were talking about this. We sort of stumbled upon the realization last week. Other than Athena, who's the only reason to watch Ring of Honor realistically, everything else you don't need to catch up on, it's just there for you.
Mostly on freaking Dynamite now.
Every Ring of Honor belt is now back on an AEW regular. What's that about? We're just going to get a new announcement. It's possible TV deals. It's possible broadcast stuff, which is pretty boring to us. But why all of a sudden? I don't think that's an accident, but I can't figure out why it is exactly, because we got away from that. We got away from the two things bleeding over and making AEW worse. I'm not saying we've got back there, but all your champions being AEW regulars all at once as we're about to embark in this quote new era, there might be something to that. But I don't know what.
Jed Brown.
Get rid of ROH for my taste.
It's a new era. It's got the Ring of Honor thing. It's like the Medusa with the belt. Just got the Ring of Honor logo in the trash.
Please.
Jed Brown says what's the best ever moment of AEW and worst ever moment since its creation?
Oh, Christ almighty. That is a bloody question, that.
I think I've got both my answers.
Well, go on then, I'll think of mine. How do you do that?
As much as I love the first dance, Punk had so many moments, I don't want to distill it into one. So Cody getting squashed by Brody still. That I think was so bold, and the company was young enough, and it had been so fantastic in the
belt
pandemic.
and shards.
Yeah, every element of that was so fantastic that it was just, that's the sort of booking decision that buys you 5-10 years worth of faith, because the process created that. So what else can it do? WWE have dined out on its
From
various
December
eras.
18, 2019 to that.
Yeah.
It's like, Christ, this company can literally do anything. It can turn anything around.
And worse is when Jungle Jack Perry used real glass at Wembley Stadium, like a total mark.
I do love the symbolism of the Cody Brody thing, because it proved to you that even if we do a December 18, 2019, and we don't want to do that, but sometimes it's wrestling, sometimes crap is going to happen, we will redeem it. And how?
Yeah.
Stay the course. As he said, it bought loads of time. It has to be Brawl Out. It absolutely has to be Brawl Out. It's the worst for me. Like, it just cast a shadow over the complete company. It was a problem of its own making. It's something that could have easily been resolved very, very early on, and it was just allowed to fester. It reminded me of my feckless past when I've put stuff off and just not done it and thought, oh, you know what, that'll magically make itself better. Like an idiot. I don't want to stare at the reflection of a wrestling promotion that I hold in the highest esteem and see fucking me looking back at it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be reminded of just sheer utter incompetence. I lived through an entire monopoly of it, and it just tainted everything afterwards. We're only just getting over it now. And I loved CM Punk in spite and beyond that. As for the best, where do you start? I'm not being funny. Like, where do you start? This company has somehow, like, mass-produced moments of brilliance. You can't do that with a factory, but AEW managed it at its best. I think my answer changes all of the time. For me, just the Fight for the Fallen 2021 first half an hour. Like the match quality, the Dark Order and Elite contrasting entrances, the what does it mean to be a cowboy? I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. It was like, that is like star creation, match quality, like an event of just the most unbelievable magnitude ever. Just the individual rise of Hangman Page, the Dark Order being redeemed to become a star concern, like we can save anything. It was just magic.
Spotlight for Brody on the stage. God damn.
That was, the vibe was never, ever better than that as well.
We talk about that specific era a lot, not least with like crowds being back and so many things all hitting at the same time. It's divisive somehow, but I think it's just because people got short memories. Like, to the Hangman, like, you know, I'm not as big on the Elite as Sidge, but like Hangman Page taking off the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man head, because I think you can like do silly and make it feel serious and meaningful, and I think people don't get that sometimes. The costumes are not what this is about. It's the fact that they're using the costumes almost to obscure.
It's the absolute. It's the goal of AEW to do the things that they can and get them over.
That's
and
ambition
make them
to me.
Emotionally resonant.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, indicates to me that at their best they can literally get away with anything.
Or Jeff Jarrett showing up.
Jesus Christ, the pool of blood forming around Darby Allin's head as Jeff Jarrett like kicked the guitar away from it and he called him a bitch. Jesus fucking Christ. My trains get cancelled all the time. I'd have ran into work the 30 miles or whatever it is to get here that day. Oh my God. And people, like, it was a bit of a doomsday day, that like you were like talking about the post Brawl Out feeling that wouldn't go away for a while. And then to a lot of people, Jeff Jarrett arriving felt like it was doubling down.
Yeah.
And then we got like 6 to 8 months of like solid gold double J.
Double and J, if anything.
Another one to put you on the spot with this from Daniel Nielsen. What is your favorite match of the year from AEW?
Christ, can we go back to pizza, Chad? Match of the year. The etymology, just so you know, the etymology of these in-jokes will never get explained.
Yeah.
Our bullshit will never be explained. I'm sorry
Often
about
because
that.
we've forgotten them.
Yeah, often because they indict other members of the wrestling media as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Match of the year. It's probably basic bitch to say Ospreay Omega 2. I mean, I adored it. The 3 most, how is that not the finish, near falls, false finishes, I can recall in recent memory, and they all happened in the last 8 minutes of one match. Absolutely incredible. If it wasn't for the really long epic ones, right, because those are the easy, maybe even boring answers, MJF Danielson, Omega Ospreay 2, or Rush Danielson from Dynamite. Just Starks Danielson. I think 2023 has been a pretty bad year for AEW, realistically, and it's still capable of the highest highs. If it's not a TV match, TV match, make it more interesting. Roosh Danielson, like, it was just a war. Like, so much hatred, intensity. Like, they actually looked like they were just going to have a fight to the death at one point. In the magic of the moment, belief, just completely disbelief suspended. I just thought you were going to kill each other here. You want to kill each other before you succumb to, a loss. Awesome stuff.
Talking TV, it's Omega Vikingo for me. I like Vikingo.
I'm upset with myself.
I like Vikingo, but like I don't want this to sound like a dated criticism of the style, but I think he is a little guilty of having these like incredible feats of athleticism and not necessarily always like placing them in the most optimum.
That's where
points of
Kenny
the
comes
match.
in.
And that's where Kenny steps in, because you're not just going in there with a general, you're going in there with like arguably the best ever, the best in the world right now, all that sort of thing. And he just, the way, and like, he's not just that as a ring general, he's a guy that also enjoys daft risks and mad ideas. And I think that was a confluence of all that I loved. AEW match of the year, like Punk Joe stole Wembley. Like, I felt like I could have blacked out watching that match.
It's only 3.5 stars.
Me and Sidgwick, yeah, so I read. Like, me and Sidgwick were next to each other, and the amount of times, it's like, it's not even screaming, it's squealing. Like, so much stuff happening. Like, then you're just sort of like, there's not enough blood getting back to my brain here. Like, I'm going to need to sit down and need to take
I feel lightheaded with just joy.
A bit like the punker then in the match.
Yeah, kind of,
Like
yeah.
a religious experience.
It was unbelievable. And like, and the thing is, right, that'll be my, if you can only ever have one, that's what I take away from that show. But that really unfairly undermines like MJF and Adam Cole, which is the greatest version of that type of match I've ever seen.
Like Dave, man. I do like Dave.
Love him.
Maybe even love Dave Meltzer,
Vital for all of this.
Oh, Christ, we couldn't do this job without him.
Yeah.
But my God, like, can he not just realize that vibes are an integral part of what makes a match good? The vibes on that, out the ass.
Everybody in that building. Like, we remember us talking about this, obviously, without knowing that the fight had occurred. Like, I think you said it, you always thought this was going to kill Collision because nobody can quite agree on Punk. And then, as a fan, it was like, this is a blast.
Yeah.
This is like, you could, like, fight back and forth with the Elite
Hey,
fans.
Sid, remember when you were wrong as fuck?
Thanks, like, Elite fans and Punk fans just booing and yaying in the crowd with none of the violence of the actual people themselves. This is great. It's like having home and away teams where you can just sit together. It's gone now. It's all gone.
It's all dead.
Cry me a river.
Punk are probably showing up in the Fed then. Michael Everett says, as of now, who are you picking to win the Royal Rumbles? I'm leaning towards L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
And Jade Cargill.
Cargill's a great shout for the Rumble.
Knight's not winning the Rumble. I just said yeah because it's fun to say.
Yeah.
I think Knight's not winning the Royal Rumble.
He's losing to Roman at the Rumble, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's the match.
Is it Cody again?
Of course it is.
Yeah. But
They're stupid if it isn't.
There were the one, and I understood why they did it last year, because there was tension.
Don't mind me.
There was tension around Sami Zayn being in the match. There was a concern that Cody would come in early and then somebody else would steal that pop. And that's why they put him in at number 30. A little petty gripe I had with it because it's the easiest spot. I think she'll go coast to coast.
Cody, says, last year I came in at 30. This year I'm going to be the first announced person for the Rumble and the first entrant.
I'm not just finishing the story. The story's gotten even bigger because I've done my hour of hard yards to get it this time. Like, he's not just swanning back in. He's had to grind for a year. He's going to do the work.
And The Rock comes in at 30 and throws him out.
Jesus Christ.
Becky and Cody for me.
He wasn't my car.
That's what I want to say. That's what press some buttons so you get used to the soundboard because you now get used to it.
9 days.
It's okay, because every time you press something on the soundboard, I get a little... Right, last couple of minutes, I'll try and speed run some questions.
Yeah, we've got a
you
Dynamite preview after this. Not on here. Go to wherever you get your podcasts from usually.
Next Tuesday, October 3rd, we're going to be doing a live AEW Wrestle Dream review and a Q&A here on the channel. So do join us for that. And then on October 10th, Tuesday, October 10th, it is the official launch date of the WhatCulture Wrestling Podcast channel with a review of Raw. And then our weekly schedule looks like this. Live Q&A on Monday, a Raw review on Tuesday, an NXT review on Wednesday, a Dynamite review on Thursday, and Wrestle Culture on Friday. Last couple of questions then. In Ryan Leaf music, thank you as always for your question, Ryan. Who's your individual Wrestler of the Year so far? Wrestler of the Year.
Wrestler of the Year.
Orange Cassidy over Gunther by a whisker. Loved both those title reigns, but Orange Cassidy
Gunther works for WWE.
Yeah. He's Orange Cassidy made a believer of me more often that he was going to lose. Like, Gunther's matches have been incredible, but there's only been select times where I thought he's actually going to get beat. I'm just enjoying them for what they are, whereas Cassidy had me on the hook that the reign is over so often.
Hey, Kenny Omega.
Hey. You all right.
Should the Young Bucks turn heel again? Says
Yes,
PJ
please,
Hill.
for fuck's sake.
They are, aren't they?
Well, they are on my heart at the minute. Like, Jesus Christ. My favorite tag team of all time. You can make a very good artistic, critical business case that they are the absolute best, and they are increasingly irrelevant. I feel like the elite law stuff is way more ripe for mockery. It's more ripe for mockery than it is like this beloved thing. Like, it's always had its like sort of divided camps, like a culture war of people who think it's lame versus people who live for it and have parasocial relationships with the people involved.
Cleaner, I got it.
And I don't think that the fleeting few who are watching BTE in the year of our Lord 2023, I don't think that audience justifies how much they're still at this. The Bucks, I really hope they turn heel.
Before we get your thoughts on it, Alex says, as part of this, should Hangman turn with them?
I want Hangman to be the Steamboat of AEW. I just want him to be the man I can depend on. The beauty with Hangman Page is that he's never just gone a straight alignment to a heel. He's and I hate to be pretentious, he's so above it with the way he can draw his character. Hangman Page, I wouldn't mind him thinking he's the heel again. I mean, he does heelish things because he's been made to think that he is the heel, a la, All Out 2020, the build to which, was goated. But I don't want him to be a heel. It would just feel fake. I think that character is so anti-one-dimensional. Such a better update on the pro wrestling archetype. Truly at its best, it's incredible stuff that if he just turns heel, I think he's above that.
I think the most heelish thing about Hangman Page right now is that he hangs out with the Young Bucks. Like, I think they're a terrible act together on screen. The Young Bucks, whether it's by design or not, are doing this over it, can't be arsed period of their career. And, I like Hangman Page less as a result. I know it's the elite, and I buy in enough to this friendship, but I don't think they should be together on screen. I think their act is reducing the status of Hangman Page in AEW.
It's the absolute epitome of, I can't remember which way around this is, actually. But, the sum more than the whole.
Yeah, that one. Some is greater than the whole. Yeah, he's not the main character.
Some of their parts.
Yeah, he's not the main character of AEW anymore. And I question if he ever was when you look back at MJF's run in totality. But he's definitely not it right now.
It's at the minute, it's a very literal supergroup.
Yeah.
And they'd be way better individually.
Final question I'll give to one Matt Reigns, who writes, "Hey guys, truly amazing to see the channel come this far. Very happy for all of you guys. The main question,
Only 4,000 subs so
answer
far.
everyone wants to know, Hamfler, what are the stakes for our basketball game in Philly? I say loser is banished from the podcast forever. Oh yeah.
Oh, this asshole. I don't know. I need some time to think about these because Matt Reigns will actually be good. Basketball's American sports, and I get way less goes. I'm going to smash him. It's pub basketball. I'm going to kick his ass.
You kicked my ass at it in Vegas.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm a surprise package.
I've got an idea. Loser drinks a Pilsner.
Yes.
I know Matt Reigns doesn't like his Pilsners.
Yes, I'll go for that.
Yeah, and then
he goes for
a
those
lager.
He goes for those friggin' insane. Just the 18%er for me tonight, guys. What the fuck is that, Matt? I'll have one of them, or you can have one of my weak beers.
Beers.
But Matt, you
Bets.
can buy
Battlestar Galactica.
Pour out the drain. Lou's got to drink pills and you drink it. It's piss. Piss.
Piss in a jar and give it to Matt Reigns.
Piss in a glass.
RM Radcliffe, actually.
Hey, that's phosphorus, right?
Imagine that. Matt, get your Untapped app out and log Hamflet's piss on your Legends Lounge. Go for Hamflet's piss.
RM Radcliffe has just pointed out something that we regularly do that we haven't done. I feel we should do on the first video podcast that we do. And he's basically talking about the likes of Finn Balor, Senor Money in the Bank, Dirty Dom, and Rhea Ripley. And of course, collectively,
they're in the fucking judgment day.
You're fucking gay. I'm fucking dead.
Sheamus or Gable to dethrone Gunther? We'll finish on that one.
Gable. It was fun and it was nice as Sheamus, but come on. His Gable run's been brilliant with him.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, there are a lot of fun things to announce on today's podcast, but I've saved the best till last, I think, because...
Second baby.
Well, you hope not. Get your diary out, right? You've got Tuesday, October 10th to put in. That's the official launch date. You've got next Tuesday, October 3rd, for the live AW Wrestle Dream review. But flick forward a bit, right, to Tuesday, November 21st, because...
Flight in Newcastle.
On that day...
Can't rely on the trains.
We will be doing the What Culture Wrestling Podcast live with an audience. We're going to be selling
Hopefully.
tickets.
We hope. Buy tickets.
Yeah,
We're going to be
hopefully.
selling our tickets faster than All In.
Faster than Nathan fucking Fraser.
What we got on him?
There is. Yeah.
Faster than Nathan fucking Fraser.
When I'm cleaning windows.
Tuesday, November 21st, we will be doing a live show. The Dadley Boyz live doing a WhatCulture Wrestling Podcast. Ticket information will be announced very soon. Please attend. We'll try and bring the soundboard. And who knows, maybe if we time it right. Well, wait a second. It's a Tuesday, so if we time it right, then you can get the flight back. There may be even some special guest appearances. Just a thought.
Book a flight, Matt. I'll kick your ass.
Don't.
Well, you know, if you want to.
I mean, I don't want it, but like, wasting money on us. Well, on him.
Thank you to everyone who's joined us
Thank you.
today. Whether you've sent us questions or you just enjoyed watching the stream, thank you so much. And as Sidgwick said earlier, thank you so much for your support that's made us be able to make this. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. Turn the notifications on. We'll let you know when we are next going live, which is going to happen, of course, next Tuesday when we review Wrestle Dream. But loads of stuff coming your way very soon. But for now, thanks to everyone who's joined us. Thanks for the questions. Thanks to our brilliant producer, Adam Nicholas.
Yeah.
My thanks to Michael Hampler, to Michael Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you soon.